Howdy everyone, Pharrell here, Flow Roofing out of Portland, Oregon, in the heart of the southeast-northeast divide along the 84. And this particular complex hasn't seen or had the best roofing experience. Apparently, this is an HOA, they got affected by a contractor who stole their deposits, never came back, and they had to hire a different roofing company. And so I'm going over their work because their work on the second round has some inconsistencies. Why there's 3 intakes here, no intakes here, 2 intakes there, and not centered. Red flag chimney details there. I mean, HOAs, especially small HOAs, older communities, y'all on a budget, we understand. Dues aren't going down. Everyone wants the biggest bang for the buck. No reported shingle leaks from what I've been told, but other considerations around workmanship, just attention to detail throughout the entire project, material quality, just finishing touches, basic just quality workmanship related items. Material package aside, we're actually here to help them do some targeted repairs. The roofs, we're not even going to look at the steep slope stuff right now, but budgets are a big thing for HOAs these days. Everyone in general, everyone's worried about the tariffs, everyone's worried about their savings being depleted, and then you got the mortgage delinquency crisis, some of these other things going on in the world, and people are scared. We hear it in the customers voicing their concerns about their project, but I'll tell you right now, there's never going to be a cheaper time to look at doing your roof than yesterday, and the next cheapest time is going to be looking at taking care of what you need done today. That's because materials aren't going down. Manufacturers are going to start to get greedy and make all the excuses, just like the pandemic, to increase the prices again, and you're going to see these standard $5,000-$6,000 material packages on single family go up to $10,000+ in the next 5 years is my prediction. And you can imagine what that means, that labor, gas, petroleum, all the things that go into the roof are going to go up significantly as well. I'm not sure why this valley seems to be raising up the shingles there. You see that? So just popping, mainly probably just, again, attention to detail, workmanship related things. They missed their nail zones. Garbage gutter guards here, right? So the HOA here has let us know that this particular unit was one that they wanted us to take a look at. We're going to jump on all the roofs here today. Probably not during this video, but that particular fascia board is getting pulled down by that unit. And my suspicion is that maybe the weight of it being aluminum and plastic right now is not the issue. But if they lack the maintenance and they put these little screens up here to protect because of this behemoth evergreen, that when it freezes and you have the pine needles from a storm, same thing with the gutters, and the reason why they pull off if they're not maintained properly is that weights down this porch, and it's right now pulling the fascia board down about 1 inch. And so small taper cricket issue there on the membrane detail. We don't know what's going on behind this siding here. Maintenance in general though, making sure that it stays clean, checking the seams. There's some built-in taper, which is nice on all these units. There's some standing water there over on the far one we'll take a look at, and then she wants us to look at one other carport over on the north side. But ultimately, we understand everyone wants the most for the least, but by no means should we be doing some of this garbage here. So This particular porch she wanted us to take a look at has or had these gutter guards, and more than likely stuff got shot down and over. Why this fascia board is leaking, I guarantee you has something to do with water getting back. This is called ramping, but this is forced ramping from a material. So there's other types of ramping that can happen over aging periods where, and I don't see anything on this roof besides this particular area, but when the shingles get curled up, water can pool back here. This has actually got negative slope, and that's where your ice dam starts for one, and that's where your decking starts to rot out too. There's just a whole lot of problems here, but you know, southeast, northeast Portland, really not surprised. So we're gonna be looking at some of these other parapet caps on these dividers, and the problem is that there's this fine line distinction between the HOA and what their tenants are responsible for. And you know, tenants, they built these porches because they want more space. We're in Oregon, it rains a lot, so that's reasonable, but this particular material at a 112, almost nearly flat, this corrugated plastic stuff, you can see they've already sealed up all the fasteners and everything. I'll see if I can't show you the bottom side of this fascia board. It's completely green because the gutter is not even capturing. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see all the staining on that fascia board there. That's because the water is not even going into the gutter. And so maybe the gutter works on a heavy downpour, but when you get half of the rains on a flat pitch material like that, it's the reason why you do hook detail on your metal as well, especially for like a weather tight commercial project. You know, you're gonna get your 2-inch snap seams, but in order to create like a buttoned up waterproof roof, they actually do flat roofs with metal, mechanically seamed, whereas like when you're using a plastic material, capillary action is going to take that water right back. So a lot to document here. We're going to go ahead and start putting our reports together for them. We want to give them the minimal viable solutions. We want to try to get them to have the best ROI of their project. Maybe we click record here on the other carport, take a look at things. But you know, I just walked over the ridge when I clicked record to start this thing, and what I'd seen is unique. Like all of Northeast Portland, it seems like there's just there's not exactly anyone looking out for folks to make sure these assets are protected. I mean, again, retired community, fixed income, older population, they were all doing the maintenance 15-20 years ago, but now come 2025, everyone's getting their gray hairs, as we all will, and they're not able to do their maintenance obligations anymore. And so we're going to try to help them out best we can. The shop's only 5 minutes away, but what we're dealing with on the ventilation side of things is a concern. All the other penetrations, we'll just keep it rolling. We'll go see what we find. Let's go check out some other of these buildings here, have a little conversation about it, because our other commercial inspectors out on some other apartments right now, our residential guys booked out a week. If anyone knows of another residential inspector, we're definitely interviewing at this point for qualified individuals. Now I will say, and everyone knows this by now, Flow Roofing doesn't do roofing sales the way that the rest of the industry does, and that's not the way we flow. Never will be. Just by providing a good service, doing what you say, saying what you do, you can build a lot of rapport to the point where people will cut you 6- and 7-figure checks, which we're finding out is a reality here this year. So ultimately, you know, the golden rule my mom taught me: treat people how you want to be treated. Seems to be paying off. Biggest inconsistency just here at the rake edge I can see. Not only is it a different type of Same age roofs too. Not only is it a different type of gravel stop, rake edge metal, and that could have been addressed at the time of the re-roof. So this is why you don't use cheap materials here. So not only do they skimp on the materials, but they went with the worst material. And you can see this organic growth. It's clogging this intake. I guarantee you is already non-functional. Moreover, and this is something I see way too much, I don't say anything online yet because I don't want to rub any other roofers the wrong way, but there's supposed to be ice and water top and bottom underneath the shingle here, and so these intakes are both not even functional, choking the roof, but they're the worst kind of intake. And so why didn't they address the gable boards again? They'll make budget excuses. So that vent there should have been a flapper vent at the least, and these should always be metal, not plastic. These boxes over here sealed, boxes on the other unit not sealed. We had broken tile for some reason, and I mean the chimney I've seen worse, but gutters need to be maintained better. Not a problem. I'm gonna go ahead and give them the option to take a look at. Overall, I mean, why the front has ventilation detail and or these units do only, maybe it's because and again, why that one here, if the roofs are the same age, why they don't all have consistent ventilation detail like those guys over there do. A little too low for me, I'll tell you right now. The ones on the right look like they're a course lower than the ones on the left. We always put ours up 6 to 8 minimum, and that gives people the ability to do R30 plus, which is going to be 13 plus inches of blow-in, and that okay, so that might be a framing detail, but you see that course right there goes tall to skinny. Or they didn't snap their line. They got off on their shingles, and then the taper. Let's see. I don't know if you can see the bend in the shingles. This side's straight. This side's definitely crooked. I lean more towards framers being square and true than roofers being square and true, and it looks like actually after the dormer connects, maybe they tried to do a backfill maneuver. I mean, it's not going to leak, but it's just workmanship detail. Bottom of that skylight's pulling up pretty significantly. What else? I mean, there's so much. This is the one asphalt system we're going to take a look at, and if they want us to taper it out and utilize any of the other drainage points, we're going to have to do something with the little mini parapets they got going on here. So this is what we got going on here at our 10 o'clock, and I wanted to help Nick because I know he's got a noon with one of the bigger GCs, and the complex isn't necessarily quite as accessible as this. So anytime we get a 5-6 story property, there's generally going to be ladder access, but if we're going to have to break out a 40 or get a 60 involved, you got to support your guys, right? So these two asphalt systems were the ones she was concerned about. Adding taper at that point is going to be a detail to look at. And I remember going down there, you can't really see it, but there's a 6-inch bigger drain. He used a commercial drain when the rest of the complex has little 2 and 3 inchers. Again, the drain being the issue though, these roofs actually probably being in decent shape. They weren't leaking on the other side. It's just the drain areas. We'll give them layover options and build up cricket detail to help push. Ooh, there's some creaking underneath this scurry. This drainage issue here There's really not much we can do because the underside is a structural 2x6 tongue groove. To get slope on some of these things, you're going to have to completely redo the framing detail. Shingles on a 112 or lower flat roof, big no-no. They should have continued the membrane over if they were doing it at the same time. Shoot. I mean, we're just going to focus on the requested areas, but there are definitely issues with the rest of these builds. And so it's important, though, that we document everything as a contractor who's trusted to protect the assets, because something goes wrong, people start finger pointing, and we don't have an issue with taking accountability. It's what we've done the last 7 years. Anytime anything's ever happened, we're there to fix it. But I love it when guys run away from projects like these. They make the industry look bad, but it leaves the door open wide for a guy to come through and do the right thing, save the day. That's what Flowman's all about. So I think now I'm going to give Nick a jingle, go take a look at the carports closer, and we'll keep on flowing to the next one.